Poison Supreme has occupied the southern part of the mainland, and has long been an overlord of the world. Hearing that Yeshen confirmed his thoughts, I knew it. My promising disciples really are outdoing each other. Even the third, with the lowest talent, has become a big shot. But, then again, Fusion Cave, Futy Cave, and Fusion Cave, are referring to the same place as an idiom. Both mean a place where gods live or a place for cultivation. Wasn't that the barren mountain, where I grew elixirs with my third disciple, and she wants me to go without Yaner finding out? Why do I have to keep this a secret? He thought secretly. The city lord then knelt down and called for his attention. Senior. Seeing that Yeshen became curious. Little John, what are you doing? Still kneeling down, he said. Originally, the position of city lord wouldn't have been passed on to me so early. After all, it was my father's lifelong wish to welcome the owner of the heavenly book in person. He cultivated hard every day, but I never thought that he'd overdo it one day. At this point he was crying, continuing, I know I shouldn't bother my senior with such trivial matters, but I beg you, please help. Without saying much, he patted his head and continued, Little John, your father and I have a lifelong friendship. How could I just ignore that? Where is he now? No, my father is currently in a deep sleep. In the Kumlin Mountains. It's far away. Kumlin Mountain is one of the longest mountains in Asia. Please go to the place the Poison Supreme mentioned first. You truly are. Xiao on the other hand was truly going crazy. Thinking Yeshen was a pervert, she also thought to herself, I misunderstood. It was a lie that Zhang Zisheng needed to talk to him in secret. It was just an excuse for them to engage in homosexual activities. I completely misunderstood him. That's why they needed me out of the way, so they could have a private meeting here. You can't blame her though, as from her perspective it seemed that Yeshen was getting his little Shen blown off. Feeling dejected, she spoke out. I have waited so long for this great opportunity. Are you kidding me? Barging in the door she still shouted, Are you kidding me? With her noisy entrance, both of them turned immediately towards her direction. Still thinking about the worst, she yelled out, Who the fuck wants to share her with a man? Don't even think about it. With that she used her trusty talisman, and used it on our boy Yeshen, creating a loud bang. Still in hero pose after the smoke faded, she smiled slyly with delight. No matter how powerful you are, if you take even a small whiff of my specially crafted sleeping pill, you won't be able to do anything but fall to the floor and leave yourself vulnerable. At this point Xiao was feeling unhinged, and with a cunning smile continued to say, Such a high-quality masculine man. Of course, I should have it all to myself. Hey. On the side, the heavenly book, or scroll, was rolling on the floor and suddenly opened, which immediately caught all her attention, as it was glowing brightly. Suddenly from the scroll appeared seductive looking women who all rushed towards her, as if to enchant her. Aqyuuuuuate. She panicked. As they bound her tightly, she kept thinking, this. Something like this is in the heavenly book. Oh, the book is tying me up. I can't breathe. Suddenly beams of light emitted from the book in a circular motion. The color. Looking closely at it, her eyes lost focus and started being entranced. What is happening? With the scroll done with its job, the glowing stopped, and Xiao slammed down on top of our boy, and she started acting super weird, as if possessed, although she was always thirsty. This time her actions were truly super seductive. Seconds later Yeshen seemed to regain consciousness. I'm dizzy. Is this smell? An alcoholic elixir. Slowly opening his eyes, two huge soft pillows greeted him with a smile, as they slowly caressed his face. He then wondered, why does it also have a bit of a slippery and soft feel? Texture. With that he hastily opened his eyes, and the sight before him was truly shocking as the girl was hanging over her, looking rather hungry and thirsty for some human soup. Surprised, he wondered, what are you doing? This still looking at her seductive look, he still thought, what is going on? Pushing her back, he immediately exclaimed, don't come any closer. Wanting to understand better, he thought, calm down and remember. Thinking back to the moment he passed out, he said, before I passed out, I remember that she broke in and said some random things. There was nothing out of the ordinary at that time, so something must be happened later. Returning back, the girl clinged to her further, which stunned him. Why is she pushing against me again? Suddenly she grabbed his neck and started acting weird, not forgetting to also gently kiss his neck. As all this was happening, Ma Dud's mind was racing, wondering, is she smelling me? While sniffing at him seductively, he jumped in fright and embarrassment, mumbling incoherent words, and finally he shouted, Stop! Pinching her cheeks, he still continued, Stop it! However, the possessed girl didn't care one bit as she suddenly grabbed his hand, then slowly sucked on his finger. While doing that, as he looked her in the eyes, Ma Dude suddenly wondered, does she want me to touch her? Finally figuring out something, he wondered could it be. Looking at the scroll book next to him, he confirmed his speculation. No wonder. The book is open. Placing his finger in front of her, he instructed, behave, as if she was a dog, and it was with purpose. As she again jumped at him, with her tongue hanging internally, he thought, the worst case scenario is happening. Actually, Yeshen privately referred to the heavenly book as the little dirty book. Many years of Yeshen's treasures are inside. In order to not be found out, Yeshen added a prohibition to the heavenly book, called, do not indulge. All people except Yeshen would be brainwashed even with one glance at the heavenly book into becoming dogs. At this point she was even barking woof. Yeshen continued thinking, how could it be seen by this woman? And she just so happens to be one of Yener's people. Coughing slightly, he said out loud, I can't just sit back and do nothing, can I? Sighing, he thought how troublesome his situation was, and with a slap on her back he yelled, get out. Feeling the slap, she could only bark seductively. Woof, woof. You're lucky that I'm the person you came across, he said, and rubbing her back he still continued the prohibition. Do not indulge. Takes the soul of a dog man, merges it into a human soul. If you try to use ordinary magic to forcefully break the spell, it would only hurt your soul and turn you into an idiot. With that he unleashed the final blow, causing her to bark even louder. Woof. Grabbing the spirit that possessed her, he uttered, only by removing the dog's soul separately. Can you safely return to normal? Feeling the extreme pain, she barked more. Woof. Woof then suddenly passed out as she laid down sprawled on the floor with green energy surrounding her. He sighed in relief. You success. No one else sleeps like this. Since you've suffered a lot, let the heavenly book bless you with good dreams. After you wake up, the curse should be completely broken. On account of me helping her, once she wakes up she should keep my secret, right? The contents of the heavenly book, keep it a secret. He then thought about the time Zhang Zisheng was impersonating his disciple, the Poison Supreme, who said the book must be brought to the Fury Cave. I should make a trip to Fusion Cave. That'd be for the better. I should leave quickly while these two are still asleep. It'll save me the trouble of explaining. As he tried to leave, the unconscious girl grabbed his clothes. He then wondered, is she awake? However, the girl was sleep-talking, as she uttered, Master. Hearing that, he hesitated, and the sleeping girl continued, please wait. Chiao Chiao will be good. I will definitely protect you. Can you please enjoy the lanterns with me, Master? Chiao Chiao doesn't want to be alone. At this point the girl's eyes were watery, causing him to wipe it gently. He then sighed. I'll wait for her to wake up before leaving. How come I fell asleep? Where is my senior City Lord Zhang? Has been completely forgotten. The scene then shifts to the demon Empress disciple, who was sharply asking, and then what? Is this the reason why the Supreme wasn't invited back? Bowing nervously, the subordinate responded. When this humble servant rushed to get there, the Supreme had already left the city. The senior sister next to the demon Empress shouted, how could he leave without saying goodbye? Could it be that you teamed up with Zhang Zisheng and tripped the Supreme into going somewhere else instead? Banging her head, she pleaded, that's not the case. This humble servant heard that there was a female cultivator who risked her life to save the Supreme and fell into a coma. Getting up, the Empress interjected, Zhang Zisheng. He, as she stretched lightly, showing us a splendid view, continued, you're saying this just to avoid death. The Supreme is looking for medicine for that female cultivator, and took her away with him. So that's it. Making a menacing smile, the Empress spoke out. Master is still the same as before, liking pitiful, weak, helpless girls. Feeling her pressure, the female who was next to her knelt in fear. Her Majesty actually smiled. Descending down, she ordered, change my clothes. I'll personally go and invite the Supreme back to the city. Why, Your Majesty, you can't. For saying that, she got a cold glance at herself, making her shiver in fear. Our Empress then continued, why not? Right now, are you trying to tell me what to do? This humble servant asks for forgiveness. That's not what this humble servant meant. It's just that, the current situation. Singing at her words, she replied, I know. The Blood River Elder has already become a strong person in the life and death realm, and has begun recruiting troops in the north. I'm afraid ill intentions against our sect are hidden in his plans. Therefore I cannot leave the city. Making a reluctant face, she ordered, come out. The one called out was the Tea General, Zia Chuan, a busty female cat beast, who was striding in with great momentum. This general obeys the master. General, please bring the Supreme back in my stead. In addition to that, I want you to spread a message. Don't worry, Your Majesty. The Kanyuan continent is just one place. Where can the Supreme go? TL. She means the continent is not so big that she can find the MC. Returning to our, it could be seen he was speechless because of something. Mainly the now conscious Xiao Chiao Chiao, who was wondering, oh, where am I? What's happening? It seemed that our boy was using a tool to make himself invisible, also wondering, why is this girl so annoying? In order to get rid of her, I had to use the hiding skill of the heavenly book. But why did she come along anyway? While he was thinking, the girl seemed to sniff out his presence. TSK, that's not right. The smell is still around here. Hearing that, he wondered even more. Wasn't this all over after our separation? Is she still a dog? Nothing I can do about it, she said, and pulling out her trusty talismans, she threw them in the air, while thinking, although the pathfinding talisman is valuable, if it's used on you, it won't be considered a waste. Today I'll find you for sure. Hearing that, Ma Dude could not help but get annoyed, thinking, is it still not over? With that, he revealed to the girl that he was still around by destroying her talismans. However, he was still invisible, and with excitement she turned her head to inquire, "Dear cultivator, so you were indeed here." Not seeing him, she became quiet once more while Yeshen was thinking, now, you won't be able to find me anymore. Then again, it should be Yaner, who wants her to follow me so closely. But no matter what the reason is, I can't take her to Fusion Cave with me. Forgive me. As he was about to depart, the girl with the somber mood asked, so, do you hate me? Hearing that, he hesitated a bit, and the girl continued, forgive me, I rashly stepped onto the arena during the Tianchu conference, and caused you a lot of trouble, but I really wanted to save you. No, actually, I wanted to save you even if I died. Her actions truly surprised him as he could only listen to her heartfelt words. Actually, still a little hesitant to tell her secrets, she gathered the courage and spoke out. Oh, my time is limited, but I have one long cherished wish I want to fulfill before I die. I've tried many times, and now I'm convinced that you're the only one who can help me. It's okay to laugh at me for being worthless or not respecting myself. I will work for nothing. Laugh all you want, before you nod and agree to help me. I won't give up. Still not hearing a response from him, she became anxious. Please, she pleaded, and with tears in her eyes screamed from the bottom of her heart, please take me with you, and help me. Just treat me like a pitiful dog. I'm willing to do anything. After hearing that, Ma Dude could not help but take a deep sigh, and finally revealed himself. Seeing that, she immediately smiled with joy. He showed up. That's great. After wiping her tears, continued, thank you so much. I promise not to cause you any trouble. Right. You like dogs, right? No need for the heavenly book. One can pretend. Thinking she convinced him, she became very happy. That's good, he's happy and willing to help me. That's good. Now, Master can be saved. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a blade knife was plunged right into the middle of her chest, making her very surprised, and later spat out blood. Falling unconscious, she could only utter her words softly. What? Why is it like this? Seeing her fall out of nowhere, Ma Dude was caught off guard. What happened? Why did this girl start to talk, and then suddenly passed out? From his perspective though, Xiao Chia was just rolling around the ground as if having a nightmare. Feeling something was wrong, he suddenly turned around, wondering, is there something that is coming this way? Out of nowhere, a great demon Empress appeared in all her glory, and called out to our boy Master. After seeing her, I was truly surprised. Yaner, Master, why didn't you keep our promise? Didn't you agree that you'd come back immediately once you've retrieved the heavenly book? How could you go back on your word again? It's not like that, he replied back. It's not that I didn't want to go back. It's just before he could finish, she continued, you could have at least written a letter to me. Could it be that, in Master's eyes, I'm not even worth thinking about? Finally, about to say something, he opened his mouth to speak in a very indifferent tone. That's right, you're not worth thinking about. With that, he slashed her in half and explained, because you're not Yaner. With that slash, the ghost energy vanished into thin air. As expected, it was a temptress. We then get informed about the temptress, a mid-level spirit on the Kanyuan continent. They feed on the agitated emotions of cultivators. They often use illusions to disguise themselves as people close to their targets, waiting for the right opportunity to sneak into their minds. They keep up their illusions until their targets are completely sucked dry. That woman most likely fainted due to the temptress tricks. But nighttime is the best opportunity for these temptresses to manipulate their illusions. Why would they show themselves during the day? Also, when in their illusionary state, they usually don't have a physical form. However, it touched me just now. Suddenly something caught his attention as Xiao, who was lying on the floor, was about to be assaulted by multiple ghost hands. Oh no. With that, he unleashed his move, the golden light invisibility retreat, to disciple all the ghost energy. Something's not right. I clearly formed a seal to block the temptress, but she looks even more miserable. Could it be that she's close to being completely eroded? We then shift into Xiao, who is having nightmares about her past, due to the temptress. In the memory, she was seen playing with some stones as a child. Little sheep, candied hulls, bouncing around, row by row, string by string. Have a taste for a smile on your face. Big brother, big sister, do you want a candied haul? Turns out she was going crazy as she was talking to dead corpses. It's no use, she says. Never mind. After all, I've always been alone. Then unpleasant memories surfaced, with people always trying to harm her. No one will give me any attention. Rather, everyone in the world wishes for me to die. Being hunted, escaping from my life, and being forced to fight back. This cycle continues, day after day. When will these days come to an end? As she stepped outside, a random drunk woman was seen sprawling on the floor, holding a bottle of wine in the rainy weather, also not forgetting to sing loudly. The explainable path is not the only path on good wine. Seeing the girl walking, the drunk woman called for her. Come, my dear disciple. Damn it, did I forget to kill one? The little Xiao thought to herself. What nonsense are you spouting? I don't understand. Always on guard. The little Xiao was seen hiding a small dagger behind her back. The drunk woman then struggled to get up a bit, drunkenly saying, Shay, stand there and don't move. Allow me, the teacher, to tell you in detail. She then introduced herself. I am the great fortune teller from the Zuenji sect. My Taoist title is Spirit Exorcist. Well, that's it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time.